I gotta give shout out to all the people out there right now vibing during the weekend, especially to my boy Hani Balkis, who is the co-host at Future Talk. Usually he has a show live throughout the weekdays, but now he's out and about with his boys, having a wonderful weekend. And to all of you guys, hope you're having a great weekend. Let's just jump right into our next story, and this has to do with San Diego Comic-Con. Now, San Diego Comic-Con is a big deal because, I know we have a Comic-Con here in the UAE. It happens every year. I've been there a couple of times, did even a couple cosplays myself. Little humble brag. But San Diego Comic-Con is the mecca of Comic-Con. Everyone goes there, even the big celebrities from big franchises and such. And that is where people go usually for the big announcements and trailers. So I'll be highlighting some of the biggest announcements that have been happening at San Diego Comic-Con so far. Yesterday, I talked about the trailer for Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, and honestly, it looks very promising. It's a mix of high fantasy with Guardian of the Galaxy. It looks wicked and comedic and has some promising cast members involved in it. I mean, the last time there was a Dungeons & Dragons movie that came out, I think early 2000s, it did not age well. If you want to go check it out, believe me, you're just going to really set yourself up for disappointment. But also some of the other big announcements that have been taking place, such as Disney's National Treasure TV show. They've shown a first look teaser trailer for it, and I am so disappointed. There's no Nicolas Cage. How can you not have a National Treasure movie or show, whatever spinoff, and not have our boy Nicolas Cage? However, I am open to the idea that maybe he will do a surprise cameo. Please, Disney, you have to do it. Nicolas Cage himself is a national treasure. Also, we got more gameplay trailer for the new Batman game. This is Gotham Knights. This is going to be the co-op RPG game where you get to play as some of the family members from Batman. The setup is that Batman has died, and he left a bit of a note, sort of like a video to his family members saying there's some sort of conspiracy, and it will revolve around the Courts of Owls. So if you've probably watched some of the animated movies or shows or the comics, the Court of Owls are these elite, rich, secret organization in Gotham who do all sorts of shadowy things, and the Gotham Knight is out to uncover some of the dark truth behind this organization. Hopefully this game will be coming out sometime later this year, as it's been delayed over and over again. And also we got a really interesting announcement from Amazon Prime for the Wheels of Time. This is their other big high budget, high fantasy series based on a book of the same name. And it finally got announced that a third season will be renewed. I really, for this type of show, it really only works because it needs a lot of setup and build up. It's one of those stories that only will probably get better in future seasons. So I hope that Wheel of Time does get better with upcoming episodes. And then we have also a very interesting announcement when it comes to, let me find it here. Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. This is, again, another big Amazon series that they've been working on for a couple of years. But the thing about it is that this is a $1 billion production. And you could tell Amazon is putting a lot of hope and money into it. It's coming out this September, and they showcased yet another trailer showing us scenes of the world that takes place a couple of thousands of years ago before the events of Lord of the Rings. We get to see some of the high elves, such as Galadriel and Elrond, who are, again, recurring characters from Lord of the Rings. We get to see some of the conflict that has taken place, the rise of the orcs, the rise of Sauron, even though we don't see him yet, but his presence certainly is felt. We get to also see a little bit more of the Khazad-dûm, the kingdom under the mountain, the dwarves themselves, and we get a glimpse of a Balrog, one of the fiery demons that is very known in the first Lord of the Rings film. But you have to understand that this series is going to be a big deal because it's dabbling more into the mystical and fantastical and epic scale of Lord of the Ring, where it's a period where things are a lot more magical, and it's definitely has a lot of potential to be one of the better high fantasy series out there. So really hope Amazon kills it. Visually, it's stunning, but when it comes to the writing and the casting and the performance, everyone is going to be very critical about it. And those are some of the biggest announcements from the San Diego Comic-Con. If I missed out on any of them, and you probably got to see some of these teasers or trailers, do join in the conversation and text me 4215. It's a lot or do.
You're listening to Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.